Today we take a word-for-word explanation of A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Another important poem from the board examination point of view. The books that you take in the year 2021. Now, by way of a simple introduction and in order to make the piece of poetry a little intelligible, you must understand that the first few lines of the poem describe the characteristics that a thing needs to possess if it is worth being called beautiful. So, first few lines, in other words, try to tell us the worth of a thing considered to be beautiful. And the poet John Keats enlists a certain number of characteristics, 4 in all. We try to find out if they are exactly 4 in all. Let's begin. It says, and this is, before we begin, this is an excerpt, a small portion taken up from a bigger piece of poetry. Endymion, a Poetic Romance. Endymion, a Poetic Romance is the name of a piece of poem from which this excerpt has been taken up. And in the first few lines of the piece of poetry, the poet talks of 4 different characteristics that a thing must possess in order to be called beautiful. And in the next few lines, he gives examples of things beautiful on earth. Thereafter, he moves on to discuss beautiful things that exist in the world of the dead. And right at the end, the poet describes the ultimate source of all beautiful things on earth. So, let's consider the first few lines. It says, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will still keep above a quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing." Now, in these first 5 or 6 lines, the poet has enlisted 4 characteristics that a thing must possess in order to be called beautiful. Let's consider the first characteristic. It says, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." That means if a thing is beautiful or is worth being called beautiful, in that case it should be an ultimate source of joy forever, a constant source of ultimate joy forever. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. See, he says if a thing is beautiful, it is an ultimate source of joy forever, for perpetuity, you can say that. Its loveliness increases. Now, this is the second characteristic. It says its loveliness. Now, loveliness here means significance. The word loveliness can be extended to mean significance, importance, value, and the meaning is its value. That is that particular thing which is worth being called beautiful. Its value, its importance, its significance increases over a period of time. That simply means to say, we realize, that is, mankind realizes how significant, how important, how valuable or invaluable a particular thing is over a period of time. This has to be understood. We realize the value of a certain thing over a particular period of time. So if that is the case, then that particular thing is worth being called beautiful. Thereafter, it moves on to say it will never pass into nothingness. That means a beautiful thing will never lose its identity or essence, its beauty. It will never lose its value, its importance, its significance, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. The last characteristic, that is the fourth characteristic, the poet illustrates by way of an example. Whereas actually he wants to say that a thing of beauty must also be a source of human well-being and health. Human well-being and health. Only then does it qualify for being called beautiful. So he illustrates this particular last characteristic by telling us that a shady area under a tree, for example, is a beautiful thing. The shade under a tree. Because a tired traveler comes on a hot summer noon, rests in the shade, enjoys a deep sleep with sweet dreams and effortless breathing, and wakes up recharged. So in this way, shade under a tree has added to the well-being of the tired traveler. The shade has recharged or rejuvenated or refreshed the tired traveler. So these are the characteristics that a thing must possess in order to, according to John Keats, if a thing needs to be called beautiful. And we realize that what he says is of universal value. It was true when it was said, it must have been true before it was said, and it is still true. And it will be true in the times to come. It will definitely be true in the times to come.